It's no surprise that the new Brawl Stars competitive game mode Power League is also one of the most stressful modes ever, especially at low to middle ranks. But what if I told you that a simple change in the mode can actually fix all of your problems? Let's explore this solution in the first ever episode of Brawl Debate. The current Power League works like this. In the current Power League, progression is determined by something known as ELO points. ELO points, in case you're wondering, is a rating system developed by the competitive American chess player Arpad ELO in order to properly rate and matchmake chess players. MOBAs and competitive multiplayer video games today use modified versions of this system. In Brawl Stars, or rather Power League, your rank is determined by how well you can take on players of different ranks. In matchmake, you are paired with opponents at or close to your rank. A loss will reduce ELO points. A win will increase ELO points. The amount of ELO points reduced or increased depends on the enemy's rank, meaning that the stronger the enemy, the more you gain. This seems fair enough, but there's a problem. Let's consider our player John. Due to the fact that individual player skill cannot be decided on rank, much like trophies, being matched with bad players leads to an unfair loss in ELO points for John. These unfair losses lead to ELO point tilts. Sometimes tilts are recovered, but many times, more frequently at lower leagues, ELO tilts are massive and will span ranks. Let's say, for example, John is a Gold 1 player, but because of teammates either throwing or being genuinely inexperienced players, he tilts down to Silver 2. Because matchmake pairs you up with people at your rank or close to it, it's very likely that John will be paired up with a player who is less skilled than he is. This runs the risk of further tilting. When people tilt too much, the frustration will sometimes have them quitting until the season restarts for a fresh start or abandon the game altogether. But what actually causes this stress? What makes us so mad about Power League? You may answer, well, the bad randoms, obviously, but I disagree. The stress is not caused directly by being paired with bad randoms, but rather being powerless to stop that also infuriating tilt from Gold 1 all the way down to bronze. We can agree that the cause of the tilt is the bad randoms, but the cause of the stress is the tilt. However, like I stated before, there is no way to tell if a particular player is actually skilled or not due to the numerous variables involved. So, how do we fix this issue? Ever since Power League was released, there have been numerous suggestions made by the community. Let's go over some of the more popular ones. 1. Increase the trophy requirement to unlock Power League. Currently, this sits at 4,500 trophies, probably to make it more accessible to other players. The problem is, for one, those at 4,500 trophies have very little experience. For another, you could also argue that trophies don't dictate experience, and those 4,500 trophies could just be 4 rank 30 brawlers. So this clearly isn't the way to go. 2. Brawler suggestion system. Even if Supercell added a suggestion system, and even if you have the perfect comp, player experience is an important deciding factor. If your most important teammate, for example your gem carrier, makes a blunder like pulling a bull at them without hard carrying, victory is impossible. 3. A pre-game discussion phase or voice chat. I put these together because they both run the issue of language barriers. You cannot guarantee that all your players will speak English, especially in linguistically diverse regions like Europe and Asia, which means this will be ineffective. Also, voice chat requires a lot of server-side support, meaning that the in-game economy may inflate because of it. 4. A report button. This is just infeasible. For one, players will abuse it. Supercell will have a hard time sorting through genuine reports and troll reports, but let's say they hired a ton of people to go through the reports. The problem here is that Supercell will have to pay them all, and that means the in-game prices will rise, making the game even more inaccessible to F2P players. You think 299 gems for a skin was too much? Imagine if everything was that price. So, here's what I think must be done. The answer to this is actually pretty simple, and that is to make it so that matchmaking occurs based on the highest rank you achieve. Let's bring John back in, but with the new system. Now, again, John has tilted to Silver 2 because of his teammates. He loses that much ELO points, but matchmake will still happen with Gold 1 players because that's the highest rank he has achieved. How does this solve anything, you ask? For one, if a player is bad, they get locked at a certain rank. How? Well, let's say John's best friend Ray just downloaded Brawl Stars and hasn't watched my videos, and he got carried to Gold 1. Under the new method, he will be paired against Gold League opponents only, regardless of the loss in ELO points. Meaning that if he's good enough to beat Gold 1, obviously his luck with carries won't last forever, then he will go to Gold 2. Meaning that if Ray isn't good enough to play Gold 1, he won't advance until he gets that skilled. This places a higher skill cap for each rank, making sure only the very best of one rank will move to the next. Another advantage is that good players paired with bad randoms won't tilt to lower ranks. Yes, they will lose ELO points, but since they will be paired with players of similar skill level at every game, they will eventually climb back up. Bad players will remain where they are until they become good enough to move to the next rank. Now this proposed system does have its flaws, don't get me wrong. For one, if a troll somehow gets to gold 1, then they can eternally harass people in gold 1 because they won't tilt back down. If this question came to your mind, then let me ask you something. Would you rather A, tilt to silver 2 and be paired with silver 2 teammates who will be less experienced than you, or B, tilt to silver 2 but still be paired with gold teammates who have the same experience as you? I'm willing to bet you'll go for option B. The other issue is that at higher ranks like legendary, progression will become excruciatingly slow because there are very few players who actually make it that high. So the solution here would be to implement this new system only until mythic 1. That way legendary players can lose their rank until mythic 1 of course, but should they tilt, they can easily climb back up to legendary. If you think this system is the best way to go, then hit that like so more people will see this. Leave your ideas or arguments in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.